This is very obviously a more serious video than what's usually produced on this channel, but I was recently tagged in this video that I'm about to present to you, and it contained quite a bit of information that I considered, worth dispersing. Over the summer, we saw activities rather comparable to what took place yesterday at the Capitol. Now, there are endless theories abound. I mean, right now, the screams of impeachment, invoking the 25th, 2 weeks, get them out now. Energy is just through the roof. But I figure while everyone else is off there and doing that, we can take a quick look back at a theory that may, if looked into further, might explain a few things to us. So with that being said, lovely young lady, by all means, take it away.
When the riots began, my team and I started to look at the riots. So the first thing we did is we looked at the state and we looked at the cities and whether the governor was Democrat or Republican, and then what the COVID cases and deaths were. And we said, let's take
Sorry, but one of the things I wanted to remind you guys of right quick is that, like the CV, it was just murdering black folk all day, up and down every urban center in the nation. Weird. That already has high mortality rates. Strange.
Was Democrat or Republican, and then what the COVID cases and deaths were. And we said, let's take the data of all the buildings that were harmed or burnt or businesses, and we'll map it. We'll do a GIS software, and we'll map where these businesses were. And one of the things we did when we mapped them was we drew pictures of where the opportunity zones were. Do you know what an opportunity zone is?
Yes, I do. It is what some would call a black neighborhood, a neighborhood that is just downtrodden and poverty-stricken and just needs a hand from the government, another hand from the government to really lift the families and the people that live in these areas up on out of poverty and to put them on a great path towards prosperity and endless respect. That's what an opportunity zone is. Or what was once traditionally black neighborhoods, right? The urban spaces. And I say was once that because if you go through almost any of them now, they all look like Mexico, damn it. They all look like San Diego. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I grew up in New Jersey, right? And so, but I went and moved to California, to San Diego. And when I got back to New Jersey, there are certain elements and certain angles and aspects that feel a whole hell of a lot like San Diego now that didn't as I matured, through life. So, like, bro, when I say, yeah, the urban zones, these quote unquote black communities, which, are used as a battering ram, all my blackness, and that's where they have allowed the communism and all the butthurt, the victim narrative, the critical race theory, all that shit, gets allowed to just fester and bubble. And so, yeah, it's that's exactly what an opportunity zone, what an opportunity zone is. But like I'm telling you guys, due to so much movement, they're not the black communities that they once were. But here's my thing. I don't give a shit if you're black, if you're brown, if you're white, no matter what it is. I think that if you are on this country's soil, shit, man, like, can we not make it as hard as humanly possible for you?
An opportunity zone is a tax shelter mechanism created in 2018 to help the tech billionaires as they sold their stock avoid capital gains. If you were to roll over your proceeds into opportunity zone investments and handle it in a certain way, you could avoid all capital gains tax.
Which is like this was done in 2018. I remember, what was his name? Tim Brown. They were really hyped about the whole opportunity zones thing. But as I say on this channel all the time, that the meat is or the you know, how do I put it? Like they're like all the devil's in the details. You got to search through the nuance. You got to be able to read the, not just the headline, but also the fine print that it entails. And unfortunately, not too many of us actually do that. So, I mean, yeah, we can sit there and say, you know, that was a good thing. That was a good attempt. But it's just like all the other attempts, a means in which to funnel money from the rich to the rich, you know what I'm saying? Tax havens.
All the buildings and businesses destroyed along Lake Street were right at the bottom of the opportunity. I started to laugh and I said, you know, I was Assistant Secretary of Housing. That's not a riot pattern. That's a real estate acquisition plan. Small businesses.
So if you can't particularly pick up what she's putting down, a lot of the rioting led to the burning down of buildings within these opportunity zones, many of them black owned, you know, for all of you guys who are like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying about black, y'all. Well, black owned businesses were burnt down to make way for these tech companies. Well, you know, the tech companies to be able to, you know, get the land and be able to just avoid the tax burden. You know, that's what that is.
A lot owned by African American and Hispanics along a particular boulevard in the Opportunity Zone. So now their business is shut down. They're now hung on their debt. But even worse, now their building has been damaged. And of course, insurance doesn't cover all the repairs and fixing, right? I say it's going to be a lot easier and cheaper for me to go in and buy up all those buildings, right?
Right. I mean, the deal is that at that level, at the elite level, when you're dealing with, you know, the corporate gains taxes and shit like that, yo, trust, like, it's why I'm not, as much as I, you know, liked Trump and like Trump to this very moment, it wasn't, I said it, I've been saying it for years, like none of these people really give a shit about us. Sorry, guys. You know, it's the establishment versus everybody else. And like I said, for all the good things that sound really good, that, oh yeah, we're going to do this for poor people and all this other shit. If it is not bringing, like, you know, manufacturing to that space and creating like legitimate long-term work for the people of that space, it don't mean jack or shit. Okay? I don't mean to be a jerk about it. I really don't. Because I know how so many people just do it with the best of intentions. I get it. And it's probably like of the people who are like, you know, saying on that bureaucratic plantation, you know, I really think that, like, you know, 90% of them don't even realize, you know, what they're doing is just, it's life for them. It's how they were brought up. It's how it's their day to day. It's the world that they live in. They're, you know, and another 10% are fully aware, just could give less of a shit.
Voila. It's called disaster capitalism. And the patterns we're seeing, if you look at the clusters of where the damage is, just speaking as Assistant Secretary of Housing, those are, in my opinion, real estate acquisition plan. For example, if you look at San Francisco, 49% of the businesses in San Francisco are expected to be out of business by the end of the year. Do you know how much real estate you're going to be able to pick up cheap on this? It's phenomenal.
Yeah, but
when
but let's be real, ma'am. The taxes will be the bigger problem. Those taxes in California, oh yeah, no one's comparable to the great state of New Jersey, but, you know, California tries, man, and I've lived in both of these states, so what the hell does that say about me? Anyways, guys, with that being said, we're gonna bring this one to an end. All the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like, dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub. If you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day, share, because sharing is caring, and YouTube and Bitchute and like aren't the biggest fans of your boy over here for very obvious reasons. Bang the bell for notifications. Get something from Teespring. Check me out on Patreon as well. Links in the description. Bang the join button and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? Like, God, I'm telling you, this when you are distracted going one way, sometimes the best thing to do is just to look back and see what's going on and say, hey, because that's the thing that really kills me. Like, everybody right now is all up on the impeachment thing, and I'm just sort of like, hey, Iraq sucked, didn't it? Like, bro, like, our response to 9/11 should probably still but we've had thing after thing after thing after thing just come and smack us in the face. So there's always something, right, guys? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments, and until the next one.